What is good? We're back. We got episode 4 of the football show. We're into kind of maybe a little week 3 preview in this one, but we're going to talk some who we think's the best team in the AFC, best team in the NFC, who's the frauds, best 0-2 team, who needs it the most. We're going to maybe take a overview of who like some trench talk here, who offensive or defensive lines that we've really been liking here, and then we'll do power bottom rankings. So we'll do the bottom 5 power rankings to sort of end this thing. So Chev, man, how you doing?
Listen, I'm really excited to be here. This is like recapping week 2 and just feeling like, all right, man, I got a pretty good handle on what's going on, and just then coming away feeling like, all right, well, shit, all right. The truth is much closer to what I thought before the season started. I'm just in a blender right now about what to think. I don't know shit about fuck, and it bothers me.
I think that's kind of everybody's stance right now is like you shouldn't be too confident with just about anything as far as what you think you might know. Even kind of looking in the fantasy spaces of usages, like don't get it twisted right now that like these things in 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks when we look back, we're going to be like, oh yeah, that was a complete and total lie. And things have a way of working themselves out. So let's jump right into it, man. Let's talk about who we think who reigns supreme at the AFC and NFC sides, and then the next one will go biggest frauds. So who's the best AFC team right now in Chev Dor Sanders' opinion?
The Chev GPT best team in the AFC right now is the Ravens.
Okay, so you like Ravens. Would you say the Ravens are number 1 in your power rankings right now?
No, they're definitely not number 1 in my power rankings, but I think they're the best team in the AFC.
So do you like you think the NFC stronger than the AFC right now?
I don't think the NFC is stronger just because the quarterbacks over there aren't as good. So I don't think that it's stronger. I think that we were talking about this before the show started. I do think that continuity plays such a huge factor. And when you're talking about somebody like Lamar Jackson and, the guys he hasn't like, it's just a matter. I feel like with him, it's a matter of when, not if he gets over the hump playoff wise. And I don't think that they're the best team in the NFL right now, just because they don't have that home run hitter, pass rusher, and the best team in the NFL to me right now, the most complete team right now does, and that's going to be the Green Bay Packers. So the Green Bay Packers, to me, they've got the stud running back, the superstar running back. They've got the quarterback. You've got a second contract quarterback. So you're in your Super Bowl window, firmly in your Super Bowl window. You've got an excellent defensive coordinator in Joe Hafley, he's mixing it up and like putting these looks together where it looks like it's one high and then it morphs at the snap and then it explodes into a 2 high shell and they have no idea what to do. Edgerrin Cooper, I've said it and I've said it and I've said it again.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be one of the best in the conversation for best linebackers in the league by the end of the year. He plays a lot like Roquan Smith, but he's a little bit taller and a little bit more rangy in terms of his coverage ability. So, and they go get Micah Parsons, who to pair with Rashawn Gary, and I just think that they're gonna put teams in the walls of Jericho. Like come November, come December, they're gonna be hitting their stride, and you're gonna have Micah Parsons teeing off, and people just jumping out of their stance. You saw what he did to Josh Connerly. Poor Josh Connerly. It was rough. So the Packers are going to be my best team in the NFC. I just talked for a long time, I feel like, but
yeah, no,
that's just how I feel. Like that's where I'm at right now.
We did the first week 1, 11 a.m. Monday football show, the first one ever. You gave Edgerrin Cooper a lot of love, and ever since then, all I've heard is nonstop of people talking about how good he is. So shout out to you on that one, man. And so for me, AFC wise, I'm going. I think it's the Chargers. I think the Chargers are the best team in the AFC right now. I think Herbert just seems on another level right now. I think they've done a good job of surrounding him with guys with Ladd and then bringing back Keenan Allen. They've got the rookie in Trey. QJ's really coming along right now, just making big plays. We haven't really seen a ton from the tight end position, and they're doing it with some of the highest pass volume. They're doing it completely differently than we expected. They zigged when everybody thought they were zagging. Now, I do think at some point they will settle in and smash it a bit. I think they wanted to kind of go toe to toe here, show what they could do. And dude, I think Harbs is just like, hey, we have the best quarterback in the league, in his opinion, in Justin Herbert, and the legs have been great. And then going on the other side of things, man, just the defense just has a different swagger to it right now. Like, I just feel like we just saw Khalil Mack kind of leave, and I don't know how long he's out for. I didn't see if he went on IR or not for that. So hopefully it's only the 4-game variety, and he comes back maybe with a cast or something on. I don't know. That's a decent loss. But what I'm seeing from that defense, man, is just they're just hitting people on every single play. They're hunting out there. Like, it looks like I go back to the Common Niners guy. I go back to that stat of like teams playing San Francisco the next week were 0-4, right? Because it was so physical. I feel like obviously, right now the Chiefs lost after playing them week 1. So it's, good start to that stat, I suppose. But I just, from what I'm seeing from them, they're just always putting hands on somebody. They're always just fucking with you a little bit. They're always just kind of getting under your skin a little bit. And they're all hitting out there. And they've just, on each level, they have somebody who's really good.
Yes.
And they've got a good rotation of defensive linemen right now, it feels like. And so I love what I'm seeing from LA right now.
Man, they're playing the best and most physical brand of football in the NFL right now, in my opinion. Like, Green Bay's got the pass rush. They've got a guy who can turn it over. They've got the same thing on all 3 levels. I think that they're executing schematically. They've got a chess piece that I feel like, Green Bay doesn't have in Derwin James. Derwin James, you heard Jim Harbaugh refer to him as Superman, and he does everything. I mean, you saw him bull rush a tackle in the Monday Night Football game. He's incredibly rangy. He's also, like, he dropped back into a deep half. Like, he can do everything. And he's one of the best tacklers in the game. You've seen him cover Travis Kelce for an entire game. They're playing at a level. Their defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, is one of the bright young minds in the game. And they're executing year 2 in this scheme, with Dion Henley as the green dot. He's also another guy. He plays just like Edgerrin Cooper. He played safety at Washington State, and now he's a linebacker, and he's one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL. He's playing phenomenal. He played phenomenal on Monday night. So, name to keep your eyes on as well. They're playing really fast, and they're doing all the details, the little things right. Like, they're jumping up. If they can't get their pass rush wise, they'll jump up and try to bat a ball. They almost got a pick on that when he was trying to check it down to Genty. And, like, it just seems like they're mixing up their coverages and doing things that make it really uncomfortable for the opposing quarterback. Like, Mahomes couldn't find anybody, so he scrambled. And I mean,
right.
Then Geno just was like, man, fuck, I got to get rid of the ball, and just played one of the worst games. And that's a 13-year vet that we're talking about, just being absolutely lost. So it's, that defense is spooky. I agree. They're playing really good ball. My only issue, and I would love it if you could really speak to this. What is the problem with the run game? Because it's not that they've been running it effectively, but sparingly. It's that they're not running it at all. And when they do, it doesn't work. But Herbert's so good that, he's going to be able to keep you in just about any game, as long as, you manage the fluke things happening outside of that.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know if it's not honestly, I really, really don't know. It can't just be one loss on that offensive line, right? I mean, that's not what's translating. I don't know. Maybe it's just not something they're focused on right now as much as maybe they have been in the past for, like, the concepts of how they're running it. I don't know. Somebody would have to dive deeper into, like, this year's run concepts versus last year's run concepts. I think Omarion Hampton's a rookie. They're giving him a ton of run. I think they would have liked to have Najee a little more involved in the beginning of the season from a veteran standpoint potentially here, but I do think at some point we will see a little bit of a shift, but you're right. I mean, there's certainly not super effective running the ball right now, but it's not the worst to kind of get this rookie worked in here, and we'll kind of see down the line. So that is a good point. When the Packers are my other top NFC team, and I don't think Josh Jacobs, they haven't been necessarily effectively rushing it from a yards per attempt standpoint, but what Josh Jacobs is bringing to them as far as the rushing upside has certainly been effective as far as what it's doing for the team. I don't know that any of the rushing for LA is doing anything for their team.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's going to become a problem at some point, unless like counting on your guy to have to be special for you to win games. Yes, you can do that, but it introduces a level of variance or just getting unlucky. I've seen Aaron Rodgers play some of the most beautiful football games of all time, and it's just not it's just not your receiver's day. And these balls go bouncing off a receiver's hands and into interceptions and stuff. You just introduce a level of variability that championship teams don't really need to have when you can't run the ball effectively.
Right. All right. Let's go into who's the biggest frauds right now. Is it Zona at 2-0? Is it obviously Cincinnati? I think is an easy pick right now.
Yeah, I mean that was going to be my pick. That was going to be my pick, even if Burrow was healthy. Cincinnati was going to be. Yes, that was going to be the pick no matter what. They just don't have it on offense. I mean, on defense.
Right.
They don't have. They're not going to be. They're too light in the ass to stop the Ravens. Like it's going to be a shootout. At that's the best case scenario. If they turn the ball over twice, they're going to lose by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think the Bengals are the easy answer. Zona is going to have San Fran this week. That'll be a battle. Even when Arizona's not good, they play San Fran well. I think the Cardinals probably advance to 3-0 this week potentially. The chat says Colts. That could certainly be a possibility. But one that I kind of referenced a little bit pre-show was maybe the Bucks, but you pushed back on that.
I did. I think they're one of the best teams in the NFC. I think they've shown that like so if you look at last year, which we're not talking about last year, we're talking about this year, they beat a division rival, on the road to open the season. Then they come in and they beat a playoff team from last year. Now, granted, both of those, like the Texans are 0-2 now, but nobody was going in saying this team's not going to be a playoff team. They're a favorite to win the AFC South. So, you're assuming that you're beating a playoff team, even though right now they're 0-2. So and they have the continuity. They've got the head coach, the play caller changed, but he's familiar with the system.
Yeah.
They're not going to have to do a bunch of familiar, like changing and getting familiar with personnel, what their strengths are. So they have a level of continuity that I think is very important. And you're not riddled with all the best quarterbacks in the league on your side of the bracket. Like there's some good guys over there. Like Jalen Hurts is excellent. But you telling me you want to stare down Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts? Do you want to have to stare down Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts in a playoff game? Like independent of this. So all that to say, I think that the Bucks are one of the strongest teams in the NFC. And we don't view them that way, but they have everything. They just haven't broken through and won with Baker under center.
Yeah, there were a few teams, a few people who kind of picked them as the dark horse Super Bowl candidate. I think just because they have been around, I think they're a good, consistent team. My thought process was just like looking at a bunch of the 2-0 teams. I like them. I like those 2-0 teams a lot better than they are. Looking at some 1-1 teams, I think that it would be a fairly good, even matchup where I think it could go either way. I don't think they're necessarily frauds, as they're not a good team, as maybe they're just not on the upper echelon of maybe some of those other 2-0 teams that potentially are. But no, I think you're more right than I am of them being frauds. So what do we think about the Colts? Because homie don't play that said Colts, all caps, exclamation points. Now, I don't know if he's a Texans or a Titans fan as yourself. Do the Titans have a chance of upsetting the cart this week and getting the Colts?
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you guys this right now for free. Whatever the highest alt line you could put on Michael Pittman, do it. This is a legacy game. Just I don't know. It's like whenever Nick Bosa sees a quarterback with a little bit of seasoning, he just gets that look in his eye. When Michael Pittman sees the Titans, he gets that look in his eye. And so, yeah, you just go put you some money down. It's keys to generational wealth. Anyway, yeah, no, we don't have a chance against the Colts this week. It's gonna be ugly.
No chance, huh?
I would be surprised if we won. It's just bad. It's rough out here.
So that won't be your upset of the week.
No.
Okay. Colts for real?
I don't think they're for real, but I think they're better than us. I think that they're a team that, like we talked about, teams like banking wins. So you're able to steal a win against a good team in Denver, and then you got to beat the brakes off of the Dolphins. So they're not I don't think they're a contender in the AFC, but I think that they're going to be in that wild card hunt now. They've got the quarterback thing figured out, seemingly. At least he's been really good. He's second in the NFL in passing yards. Is he not?
Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
I lost my tab that had that on there, but
all that to say, yes, I think that I really do. I think that they're going to be a playoff team. I don't think that they're one of the elites. What you said about the Bucs and not being in that tier with the elites, I think that applies to the Colts, but I do think that the Colts are going to be like a wild card caliber team.
Colts have the second most passing yards below the Giants because they just had a crazy outlier game. So yes. I basically could put the Colts at 1 at that point because that ain't happening again with Krusty Russ. Yeah. So no, and the thing, homie, don't play that brings it up is the Colts are most likely seemingly going to win this division as far as unless the wheels really fall off the bus here and Daniel Jones reverts back to Giants Daniel Jones because it is an easier division that they could take advantage of the Titans being down. We don't know about the Jags, and the Houston Texans. That's the gotta have it game of the week. I think they're my layup for that one. So, all right, let's go best 0-2 team here.
Man,
who you got?
The low hanging fruit. The low hanging fruit's obviously the Chiefs.
I mean, let's take Kansas City out of it.
Taking Kansas City out of it, man.
Is it the Texans?
Yes. Yeah.
What's holding the Texans back right now from being
their offensive line?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their offensive line. It's the Texans.
I mean, where are you at with CJ Stroud right now?
I mean, you can't feel good, but you see the flashes of the guy that's a franchise quarterback, and if you put him in advantageous situations, it's like they started hustling backwards. It's like, hey, we got a guy. All right, cool. Let's make it more difficult for him.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of your franchise left tackle. Let's change offensive coordinator, or let's have him fall out of favor with the offensive coordinator. There's too much. You're introducing way too much variability as a team that you're a playoff team, man. You need to be adding things to try to maximize this window because clearly you're already a playoff team. He's going to represent you well. He plays well in big games in tough situations. You just have to keep adding small pieces, just inching towards becoming a Super Bowl caliber team and not just a playoff team. Because I do think CJ Stroud can deliver in those clutch moments.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything to support him.
Houston going to get a dub here versus Jacksonville?
Yes.
They're +2 right now.
Yeah. We can put all your money on Michael Pittman overs and alt overs and the Texans money line.
Yeah. Let's see here. Other 0-2 teams. I think the Saints are better than we thought they were and aren't complete awfulness. I think the Carolina Panthers are probably better than 0-2. That first week was kind of rough. I thought they did a good job battling back this past week. Browns defense is effing elite, man. Like,
yes,
we were just talking about it before. I think they're like top 5 in both run and stopping the run and pass to start the season here. You know, do they have any hope or any chance, or are they just
if they can figure
mediocrity?
out if Judkins is about to make me go get back into the power tools again, like, I don't know if you saw it. I mean, you saw it. I know you saw it.
I'm sure.
We're back. We are back. So if they can figure out the run game and just being able to control the clock, they can minimize games and, you know, hide the deficiencies of 40-year-old Joe Flacco enough to stay in some games.
Yeah.
Like, their defense is elite, which, go figure, you have the best defensive player in the NFL and Jim Schwartz, great coordinator who's unlocked this, you know, Hall of Fame ceiling that, you know, the elite of the elite Hall of Fame ceiling, like, not just like, oh man, he's in there. It's like, no, he's going to be at the table with Bruce and Reggie and all those guys when it's all said and done. So I think that if they can get the run game going and that's reliable and they're not turning the ball over, like, I mean, Cedric Tillman went full QJ in week 1 and that turned into an interception. If they can minimize those mistakes, they're going to be, they could be plucky. I guess that's the best I could do is to say they could be plucky.
Yeah. Bears or Giants have a better chance of turning it around?
Giants, because their defensive line is so much more dominant.
Yeah. I would tend to agree. The Bears defense being where it is right now really just muddies up the water. It's interesting because that last game they were in, somebody brought up they played 2 division games, which is crazy to start the season. I hate that. I think division games should give me a few weeks before we get into division games.
Yeah. Why are we playing division games in the preseason?
Yeah. But I wonder how different that outcome of that game is for the Bears if they don't they go back down, they score, and then they let the Lions come right back and get a score before half, right? And then they open it up and they get more points in the next. Like, I feel like that was demoralizing from like, hey, it was close, we let them score, then we came back down and scored. They had, like, I don't know if there was like a minute left or under a minute, and then they come in there and it was just, I felt like they went into halftime just a little defeated, and then that thing just they got out of hand, and so I don't think the defense is great. I wonder if the defense is maybe a little better than what we just saw. They're certainly going to be, they're missing some key pieces, but certainly I would tend to agree. I'd say Giants have a little bit better chance of turning it around, although I just hate putting any eggs in Russ's basket. But
I mean, if they can stay in games the way that they did this past, I'm not a big fan of their defensive coordinator. He's a former Titans defensive coordinator, dude named Shane Bowen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very vanilla. It's really reliant on pass rushers being dominant and winning to make up for a lot of the holes. But I think that they could turn some things around quicker than the Chicago, who's going to be without Jalen Johnson. I think he's out for the year. They're not really getting any meaningful pass rush, and they've been absolutely eviscerated in the last 5 quarters of football. So, yeah, I would bet on the Giants to be able to turn it around.
Yeah. All right, let's take a little read from the sponsor here, and then we'll finish this episode out. We got a little Profit X action for your pleasure. America's #1 sports prediction market. It's a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where players play against each other instead of the sports book versus the house. You almost always get a better price or the best price on any spread, money line, total, and player prop since you're playing against other people rather than the book. Looks and feels just like a sports book, but with way better odds. So go download the app if you haven't. It's available in a lot more states than I thought it would be. Probably put that up on the screen here. Oh, maybe not right this second. Use promo code FFD, claim up to $200 in profit cash on all plays the first 30 days of playing on the site. And the one I've been talking about this week, it has been Carolina versus Atlanta, and I'm laying it on the Michael Penix train this week. Now it's up already from the read I did last night. That's going to be in all the pre-recorded stuff. It was, I think it was 212. It's up to 219 right now and a half. But I think Michael Penix over passing, and hey, your boys have been on a bit of a heater here on the read giveaways.
Talk about it.
So ride with me. And then down we had the other one I was talking about was Pitts over 37 and a half yards receiving.
Yes,
and that's at 39 and a half. So both of those have gone up a couple of yards in just a half a day, a whole day here. So but yeah, we've had some good reads. And then the Monday night live read, we hit the Herbert over rushing. So boys have been hot in them streets.
Yeah, that was dope. Like this is nice. Like I said, I was being dead serious. Like Michael Pittman and the Houston Texans. I'm on that this week.
Yeah, I like it. All right, who's got to have it this week? What's the most must-win game of the week? I think Houston's right up there. Obviously, Kansas City's an easy one. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Houston. I'm 100%. This is, hey, we all got to get in the boat and start rowing in the same direction. You know, the Jags have already eked out a win, so they're not going to be, they're a team that doesn't really have an identity, in my opinion. I think that this goes the way of the Texans.
Yeah, I feel like the Texans have to have it, because mostly just because I feel like there's some good playoff hopes, visions, if you will. I think Carolina kind of needs it, but I'm not so sure that we think that they're necessarily a playoff team, but certainly Houston feels like they absolutely have to have it. I'm not too concerned about the Chiefs. They're going to get it together here at some point. They'll get back to full strength. And even if they just limp in, like just barely squeak into the playoffs, everyone's going to be shitting to have to play them. Not too worried about it. Anybody else that sticks out to you?
As far as the 0-2 teams?
No, just the most must-win game of the week, if you will. Gotta have it.
Yeah, probably Minnesota, man.
Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota. So think about it, man. You're starting Carson Wentz in a game where you're at home, right? And you're supposed to, like, this is supposed to be like the coronation of your next great franchise quarterback. Well, that's fallen and crumbled. And you're taking on a team that's undefeated, but they don't have their quarterback. And if you lose this game, you're going to be behind Detroit. And you're going to be behind even further behind Green Bay. So this is for me, and the expectations that I feel like most people had for the Vikings, this is a must win for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point. And maybe how hurt JJ McCarthy has got
you brought this up earlier. I like this.
A little rizzed up of hey, I don't know. Hey, JJ, how hurt are you? Like trainer, What do we think? 2, 4, 6? I don't know. We're getting things are getting a little weird over here. So we'll bring Carson Wentz in here to
settle it down.
To settle it down.
Yeah, using old ginger mustard to settle things down is a wild way to go about things in 2025.
All right, I got one on here about who gets a screen. I got Lions, Ravens, Chargers, Broncos. Those are kind of the most intriguing games to me. Who do you got?
Rams and the Eagles.
Rams, Eagles. That's a good one. Yeah. Little rematch. That was. Rams could have had that one last year and had a much different outcome of the season. I like that. But let's zoom in on this. So in case you didn't know, Chev is a defensive lineman in his college playing days. So I wanted to kind of take you inside the trenches there of what defensive unit right now up front, the big boys have you been really impressed by and are you really liking right now?
Well, there's two. One, I talked about the Packers earlier, earlier in the show as the best team, on the NFC side of things. Now I'm talking about their one of the biggest reasons being their pass rush. I mean, they absolutely overwhelmed the Lions in week 1. And then in week 2, they were just, they had Jaden Daniels up until garbage time. they had him in a Hell in a Cell match. So they're playing games. Like Micah Parsons still is slowly ramping his snap count up. You know,
Yeah.
Rashawn Gary's fully recovered from the knee injury from a couple years ago, and he's still wreaking havoc. Devontae Wyatt, the second round draft pick, I want to say, he might have been the first round draft pick a few years ago, but he's definitely worth it. And then I forget who number 96 is, but he snap. I should have looked that up, but he escapes me, but he's been playing really well and generating pressure up the middle. So for me, the Packers have this pass rush that goes along with like ball hawking, like Keyshawn Nixon and Xavier McKinney on the back end. Like they have this pass rush that forces like the clock to speed up, and you speed up a guy that's a pocket passer like Jared Goff, and it's a recipe for absolute disaster. And they're going to be able to do that to more people than they won't. And so that was a unit that stood out to me. The other unit this past week,
Colby Wooden, number 96.
Colby Wooden, yes. So Colby Wooden, shout out to you because I really like what your unit. No, did he? Anyway, I like what the defensive line for the Packers has put on tape this past 2 weeks, and then the Falcons this past week absolutely running roughshod over the Minnesota Vikings offensive line. The 2 first-round picks, James Pierce, it would not surprise me if he had a better career than Abdul Carter. I'll say that right now with my whole chest. If he has it figured out between the ears, you can go look up some of the reasons why he dropped. But going into the season, he was regarded as the best pass rusher or edge player in the draft. He dropped for reasons more due to character concerns, and you can look into those if you want to. And then Jalen Walker, who was kind of a late bloomer, reminds me of Chop Robinson in Miami, but they were absolutely. And then Luke, I don't know how to say that dude's name, but he's a defensive lineman for the Falcons. They were, like I said, they made life absolute hell for JJ McCarthy. And I think that they've been searching for a pass rush. They traded for Matt Judon in the past. And if Jalen Walker and if Jalen Walker and James Pierce are hits, that boosts this team into, you're going to win some games you shouldn't just because they create 1 to 2 extra possessions because of, errant throws or, 3 and outs. Like that's what I envisioned. They had 6 sacks last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man, that was the Falcons needed this. They needed that. This was just such an ingredient that they were missing. And it was nice to, sometimes the primetime standalone island game can really jazz up or really kill the vibe for the public perception of a team. And for that to be on public display and those 2 guys, the rookie picks really making a big difference in there with some speed and being able to get at the quarterback. Now, obviously, there were some injuries on that offensive line from Minnesota last week, and they already came in down some guys. So you got to take that into account. But man, oh man, it was just impressive watching. That was the kind of stuff you expect from Minnesota that you were seeing out of Atlanta last week, and just I like they just mentioned it a lot, using that 5-man kind of front, doing different things with it, rotating some pass rushers in there. So I like what we were seeing there quite a bit from Atlanta. I'm going to be. I think they're going to beat up the Carolina Panthers this week. If I had to,
that's going to be rough. But the good thing is Carolina leads the NFL in dropbacks in the second half. So garbage time for the Big Pineapple, Himothy, Teteroa, McMillan.
Yeah, Forrest says McCarthy's not going to be in the league much longer. Seriously, seems like he's going after this. Yeah,
that's aggressive.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Let's wrap this up with the power bottoms here. And before we go any further, and we wrap this up, we're going to kind of change the format a little bit going into next week. We're going to take the power rankings off the Monday show, and we're going to do just full power rankings on this show and give it like a good 10, 15-minute segment where we're getting through it all. So we're going to kind of switch that up a little bit here, and see, give it more time to breathe, give it a little bit more, we don't know what the Monday night game is when we're doing it on Monday. So we're moving the power rankings, and we're fully going to do those on this Wednesday live show. So, all right. We call this the power bottoms or poop town. If you're an SVP kind of guy, well, there's maybe too much, too close there. Power bottoms and poop town. I don't know. So who's who's the bottom five for you right now,
We're
Chef?
children.
Yeah.
All right, coming in at number 32, it's gonna be the Miami Dolphins. They're sad. We're sad that we have to watch them. It's just not a great time for anybody. Number 31, my very own Tennessee Titans. I mean, like, please don't subject yourself to having to watch. Number 30 is gonna be the Chicago Bears. Chicago, hey man, we'll get there, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and it's certainly not going well for them so far. Number 29 is going to be the Cleveland Browns. They're elite on defense, but I don't know. I don't know. They should have beat the Bengals anyway. And then Carolina Panthers at 28. Their defense is just still so bad. It's incredibly bad. And Bryce isn't, and he's not a guy who's going to be able to overcome these these types of hurdles and obstacles. Opportunities is what they call them in the corporate world.
Yeah. Big D, solid dig there. I mean, I've been giving the Seahawks a lot of love, so I don't know why you're on my ass about the Niners. No, again, no power
Hey,
bottoms.
Big D's on your. Hey, bro, this is insane. Wowzers.
Mano Mitch says, what week does McDaniels join in the 49ers reunion tour? I mean, week 5. I think that is the hottest of hot seats.
They might Lane Kiffin his ass and just leave him on the tarmac.
For real. Like that thing is gone. It's lost. It ain't coming back. This is looking for Ray Finkel. Ray ain't coming home. This just cut that thing. Yeah, that's just this ain't happening. But I can't wait for the band to be back together in San Fran, because this solid thing has been awesome 2 weeks in. And let's put old McDaniel back on the staff. We're gonna be super excited about that. So all right. Go down to my bottom 5 here, and we're working on some different graphic for the power ranking as things move forward here. But I've got Miami, I've got Chicago. I don't want to hate on Chicago. I want to give them love, and I can't not watch them.
Bro, it's not just that the offense is bad. It's like It's all bad.
Right. It's all bad right now, man. It's all bad right now. I got the Giants, then Patriots. That Patriots Miami game was pretty tough. Then I got your guys Tennessee in there, and I got Carolina at 27 because I just honestly, like, I think Tennessee and Carolina, they got some fight in them. I like what we're seeing. I think the Bears could climb out of this hole. We kind of talked about that a little bit. And New England's rebranding right now. I think they'll get there. Offensively, meh. Defensively, I don't think it's gelled into kind of what you want it to be.
No,
just yet.
No.
Vrabes, I got a lot of confidence in Vrabes. I have no idea why Vrabel isn't a Tennessee Titan head coach anymore.
Because he wanted to be the GM, and they said no.
Yeah, he probably should have let that happen. After you guys traded AJ Brown, you probably should be like, yeah, you know what? He is the GM.
Yeah.
So
they hit him with the Captain Phillips, like, look at me. I am the captain now.
Yeah. So, hey, that wraps up the bottom 5 there. Like I said, next week we're gonna hit you with the top and the bottom in the first lot of the show. We're gonna use power rankings, weave in and out of them, kind of bring those in there. So, all right, you ready to go over to the Patreon and answer some questions about some fantasy football from those knuckleheads?
Yeah,
bunch of knuckleheads. All right, enough poop power bottom Niners talk.
Big D's on asses.
Yeah, Big D will be on the Patreon show over there, so come over and check it out. All right, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. I love you guys in the comments. Forrest, you've been crushing it. Mags, homie, don't play that. Appreciate you guys. There was somebody, Woo Bear, what up? Appreciate you. Big D, Scratch, J. Lou. Sorry we didn't get to the sit start for you. We're just a little bit more of a football show. Shout out to Scratch, Jamie T. Shoot that over on the free Discord over there, guys. If you're not in there, shoot it over there. Chip Diamonds, he said, what bums we pumping today? Jeez. That's a power bottom segment if I ever heard one. All right, let's wrap this up. We'll see you next week. Peace.